Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves, and welcome to another episode of Face-Off Friday, where I pit two bands or artists against each other with regard to a specific album from each band or artist to see which one is the mightier. And today is one I've been wanting to do for a long time, and at first I thought this was going to be my first one, but I kept pushing it back for whatever reason, and that is the debuts from both Sabbath members, Ronnie James Dio in his debut, Dio's Holy Diver, and Ozzy's Blizzard of Oz. I don't have a prop for that. I just don't own that on CD anymore. Long story behind that. But I do still have an MP3 format. And originally that album was supposed to be called, actually the band was supposed to be called Blizzard of Oz. It was supposed to be a self-titled album, but that never, cemented, if you will. I kind of wish it did. It's kind of cool. Actually, it's quite cool. So we're going to compare both albums, and I'll decide, again, just my opinion, subjective, which of the two I think is the better album. I'm going to do this by numbers, but it's also, and I'm doing, well, what I mean to say is I'm doing it by numbers just to show how I feel about how I rate each track, and then how I rate them according to my rating system. I have a video on that. One of my first videos, 5 is good or 5 isn't good, but this number is good, this number is great, this number is masterpiece, this number is legendary, this number is 0, and 0 is, a coaster or atrocious, that kind of thing. So anyway, take a look at that video if you like. And again, all subjective. So I'm doing it by the numbers, as I said, just to show you how I feel about each individual track as we go through each CD. And then I can tell you right now, because I'm not really going by numbers, I'm just doing that, as I said, to, hey, look, here's how I feel. I'm just going with my gut, and that's more important than anything, right? How something makes you feel. All right, so statistics are, can only go so much. Emotions and feeling rules the day. So let's get started. So we're going to start with Holy Diver. The first track, Stand Up and Shout, is a 9 out of 10 for me. What a great intro riff, although if you do your research, you'll see that is yet another version, different tone of what we call, or many of us call, the Iron Maiden 2 Minutes to Midnight riff, but that was taken from Venom's, one of the songs on Venom's Welcome to Hell album. Now I'm forgetting which song it is, but you can trace that riff even further back to Rory Gallagher, one of his songs. There's a guy I saw years ago who did a video tracing all the different bands and artists who've done this intro riff. Again, you can't copyright a riff for some reason. That could be good, that could be bad. And if you know the band Jack Panzer, they have the same riff. There are a ton of artists who use that similar or very close to similar riff. So Stand Up and Shout gets a 9 out of 10. Next is the title track, Holy Diver. This is 11 out of 10. No brainer there. One of his best songs of all time, if not his best song of all time. Very moody, dare I say near haunting in a way. We'll come back to that word when we do Ozzy. Not as haunting as some of the stuff that Black Sabbath and Ozzy does, but it has a certain hauntingness to it, even if you tie it to the album cover. Sorry about the glare. Just an overall wonderful song. And Dio's commented about what the album cover means in the song. Who's to say that the demon, Murray as he's called, with the chain is the evil one here? So make of that what you will. He's alluding to things, right? Next is Gypsy, which I love. I give this it's not an 11 out of 10, but it is for me a 9 out of 10. And for me that's very good. Actually, that's great for me. And then you get the wonderful Caught in the Middle, track number 4. This for me is an 11 out of 10, so it's up there with Holy Diver. I find myself, when I listen to this, singing it in my head or singing it out loud. The lyrics on this whole album were wonderful. Perhaps this is lyrically Dio's best album, but Caught in the Middle is just catchy, although I hate that phrase, but it's an earworm. That's a better thing, I guess, to say. It's just a masterpiece of a song. All right, Don't Talk to Strangers, another masterpiece of a song. I give this also an 11 out of 10. It's got the light and shade. It begins slow and then it picks up almost immediately after that slower intro. So that light and shade stuff I just love. It's part and parcel for metal and hard rock and even classic rock. So think Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, that kind of thing. And then it circles back to the beginning at the end, makes the whole song full circle. I love that. Then you get straight through the heart. What a great rhythm section on the song. What a great, it has a pound to it, or a pounding feel or tone or vibe to it. Dun, 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 dun. And then the way that Dio phrases his words in accompaniment with the rhythm section is just fabulous. Great guitar solo through and through the whole album, really. And this is another song that you can sing to. Again, catchy, earworm. Pretty much the whole album is that way, if not the whole album. What a great song. So Straight Through the Heart, number 6, gets a 10 out of 10 for me. 7, Invisible, underrated gem. This gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Great lyrics, great message in those lyrics. Great vibe, great tone. Just an overall, I don't want to say delightful, because that would mean the song has a happy thing to it, beat, whatever. It's just a great song. It sticks with you, and it's memorable. Next is the wonderful track Rainbow in the Dark. This, of course, gets an 11 out of 10. How could it not? Great lyrics. The word love is to David Coverdale and Whitesnake and Deep Purple, perhaps, what the word rainbow is to Dio. You will find the word rainbow in so many lyrics in Dio's band here and in Black Sabbath and the band Rainbow, of course. I like it. So Rainbow in the, catch the rainbow, right? So Rainbow in the Dark, remember the video from MTV, gets an 11 out of 10. A masterpiece. Actually, it's a legendary song. Shame on the Night. This was a song in high school that I would often skip, but I would say in my late 20s, I really grew to love this song, and I have to listen to this song when I usually have to play the whole album from start to finish, and I now never skip the song when I play the album. It'll be rare that I play just a couple tracks of this album. That's how good this album is. It's a must from start to finish to listen to. Feels like kind of like Exile on Main Street. Although this apples and oranges, you're gonna miss something. You won't be fulfilled unless you listen to the whole album. And when you're finished with listening to this album, for me personally, it's hard for me to want to listen to anything else. I take a break because I'm musically full, if that makes sense. I know it kind of sounds silly, but Shame on the Night, I think, is just a wonderful song. And even though I said it's a wonderful song, and it is, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. And so if you do by the numbers, you add everything up and divide by 9, like the Ozzy album I'm about to talk about, there are 9 tracks. So this is a perfect face-off because they have the same amount of tracks. So when you add everything up and divide by 9, you get a 90.5. And I'm sorry, let's see. When you add everything up, you get a 90.5, but then when you divide by 9, you get a 10.05. So a 10 is a masterpiece for me. So a 10 is a masterpiece, 11 would be legendary, but because it's a 10.05, it's just slightly a bit above masterpiece. So it's in between masterpiece and legendary, and so that's how high of an esteem I hold this album. Let's talk about Blizzard of Oz. Again, sorry, no prop. I don't know has one of the most iconic riffs to begin a hard rock or heavy metal song. It's memorable. It stays with you. It's an earworm. I love this song. But having said that, I gave it only an 8.5. Cool riff. As I said, next is the memorable and hit song off the album, Crazy Train. I give this a 9 out of 10. Back in high school, I would have given this a 10 out of 10 or an 11 out of 10. But for me, it's a 9 out of 10. I do like this song, despite its overuse and overplayed. It's just a good song. You have to, if you're tired of a song or something has worn thin with you, then you have to put it away for a long time and then come back to it and make it fresh, kind of thing. But having said that, it's still a 9 out of 10, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's great for me. So it's a great song. Next is Goodbye to Romance. This for me is simply a 7 out of 10. It's a ballad. It's very slow. It doesn't really go much anywhere for me, if that makes sense. I do like it, but I don't love it. So it's just above average. It's a good ballad, I guess, not a great ballad. Next is the instrumental D. I give this an 8 out of 10. I love this piece very much. I like instrumentals, and the guitar playing is just, as much as us heavy metal freaks love our heavy music, there's a time and a place for acoustic numbers, and we love that light, we love that shade, we like both, and so Randy Rhoads picking up the acoustic and just doing a marvel with it, just wonderful. Next is You Know What Solution. Solution is used as a mixture, not as a cop-out. I give this a 9 out of 10. It's just a marvel of a song, great lyrics, learning, to stay in the game, so to speak, but it's other things as well. Great song, enough said. Next, Mr. Crowley, another hit off the album, foreshadowing what's to come with Diary of a Madman with respect to storylines or interests, the supernatural, that kind of thing. 9 out of 10. This is a great song. No Bone Movies. And I like the song. I give it an 8 out of 10. And people have commented, I think it's the critic Martin Popoff who said that a lot of this song is similar to a track on Techno Ecstasy, and I forget which song that is. I'll have to look into that. So, but I like No Bone Movies. It's got a place in my heart. I do like this movie. I do like the song. Movie. I do like the song. There's something intriguing about it, and I know some people have gone on record saying it's not a song they care for. They say it's just okay, but I really like the song. Yeah, I give it an 8, but that's the deserved. An 8 is very good, so I like it. Next is Revelation, in parentheses, Mother Earth. This is just short of a phenomenal song. I give this a 9 out of 10, which is great for me. You have some nice heavy guitar here at times, but you also have the classical or acoustic genius from Rhoads here as well. It's haunting at times, again, foreshadowing what's to come with the song Diary of a Madman. And overall, light and shade, just I would say I give it a 9 out of 10. It's close to being a masterpiece of a song. It's just something so intriguing and inviting, and you plant yourself and you just take it all in type of song. I know they say that all the time, but that's what it is. So Revelation, Mother Earth, 9 out of 10. And finally, the wonderful Steal Away, a 9 out of 10. I think the song doesn't get enough credit. When you talk about Ozzy, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. I'm not sure. I don't think this was a hit. I think it should have been. Should have played on the radio. It's that good. Again, 9 is a great for me. So Steal Away, 9 out of 10. Some wonderful guitar here. Some great licks from Rhoads. Some great vocal delivery from Ozzy, and the band on the whole album is just marvelous. So if you add up all the numbers, all the songs, the tracks, you get a 76.5, and you divide by 9, you get an 8.5, which for me, an 8 is very good, a 9 is great, so it's in between very good and great. That makes sense to me. And coincidentally, how do I feel about this? Besides the numbers, which of these two albums do I gravitate towards? Is it Ozzy or is it Holy Diver? It's hands down a winner for me is this. They're both very charismatic, Ozzy and Dio, but in different ways. People have complained about Ozzy over the years, being the weakest link in Sabbath, whatever. There's just something charming about him, despite the fact that his lyrics aren't the best. His vocals aren't the best. It works with Sabbath. It works with, especially those first 2 or 3 or 4 Ozzy albums, probably up through and including the one with the dragon on the cover. Has Shot in the Dark on it. So anyway, and the girl sticking, or Ozzy sticking his tongue out, he's the dragon, right? And you have the girl in the leather pants and all that, which was part of the video. So there you have it, folks. Dio is the clear winner. Tell me what you think in the comments, and please consider to subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Take care now. Bye.